This is Forces TV. The following programme contains strong language.
Right, sir. Shoulder movement. 2, right, turn.
It's earned the reputation as one of the toughest courses in the British Army. It pushes recruits to the very limits of their physical and mental endurance and beyond.
Hey, Joe, get up! Stop showing off!
And any young man hoping to join the parachute regiment must first demonstrate they have the determination and robustness to pass this grueling 7-month course. Including its legendary test week, P Company.
Well done, 12! Come on! Stay hard! Let's go!
With exclusive access, cameras go behind the scenes to follow a platoon of young men through the hardest challenge of their lives. And before they can jump into battle, they must also pass the combat parachute course. Not all will become airborne soldiers. Who will earn the maroon beret of the parachute regiment and live up to its motto, ready for anything? Having completed their training and earning their maroon berets, the men of Athens Platoon have been posted to 2nd Battalion, the Parachute Regiment, or 2 Para at Merville Barracks in Colchester, Essex. It's home to the 6,000 men and women of 16 Air Assault Brigade, which saw action in Iraq and Afghanistan. The battalion prides itself on the robustness of its soldiers, and its men must maintain the highest levels of fitness and strength. When they're not working out, there are always more mundane tasks to complete. The regiment's motto is ready for anything, and that's about to be put to the test. 2 Para is set to become the spearhead unit of the brigade's airborne task force and must be ready to deploy anywhere in the world in as little as 24 hours. It could be tasked with any operation, from evacuating civilians to fighting a war. To reach this level of high readiness, nothing prepares its soldiers better than going away on exercise. In a training village in Cyprus, the men refresh their skills in urban fighting. The task force could have to parachute into a war zone, and if the men of Athens Platoon hope to deploy with them, they've got one final hurdle to overcome. Up to now, they've been nicknamed Penguins, as they haven't qualified as combat parachutists and earned their Wings badge.
After that, go if you get your PLPs on then.
But today they start their basic parachute course at No. 1 Parachute Training School at RAF Bryce Norton in Oxfordshire.
Hold on to the smoke, step down and step away from it.
Over the next 3 weeks, trainees are taught all the exit, flight and landing techniques to complete a successful jump.
Back in that parachute position.
To earn their coveted wings, they must complete 6 descents, 4 during the day and 2 at night.
It's quite physically, because you do a lot of running around, just getting up and down, and you end up with sort of like whiplash in your neck. It is quite painful after a couple of days, it's doing it constantly.
I've had a bit of a stiff neck after the 3 days. I feel like I've been hit by a car, but it's not really bad. They're just learning you the proper technique, obviously, because if you land like that, 10 out of 10, you're gonna walk away from it. So you start doing your own thing, and that's when you're gonna be in the shit.
Let's go. CIUs, put your CIUs down.
Parachute jump instructors, or PJIs, teach them the techniques of military jumping.
Okay, 12. Good. Sit in. Right, on. Go!
Their first drop will be from 1,000 feet, their last just 800 feet.
6, 7, 8.
At times, they'll carry nearly 105 pounds of kit, including their body armour and weapon, as well as their burgan or rucksack strapped to their legs, which they'll release first. Descending at speed, they'll have just seconds to react and land safely.
Go!
2,000, 3,000, check kind of bit.
You need a tight exit, and if you haven't got a tight exit or you hit the airflow as you jump out of the aircraft at a funny angle, it can literally just catch your leg and it will send you round and round as you jump in.
Go!
Most of the time you'll be in like 4 or 5 twists, nothing too major. So you drop your kit and stuff, you're out the twist, you're shouting for people to stay away from you because there's nothing you can do at the moment until you're out of it. Hopefully you'll be out of the twist and have a good like 10 seconds or something until you hit the ground. For some people though, it's happened where they've been in so much twist where they haven't had enough time to kick out of it and they can't steer or anything, they can't slow down their speed before they hit the ground, so they land in twists and some people break their legs, it is a bit dangerous.
With the ground training phase completed, the course moves from theory to practical. Now the men must confront any fears and jump out of a plane for the first time. At RAF Weston-on-the-Green in Oxfordshire, they'll have to achieve 4 jumps from a small, purpose-built aircraft nicknamed the Skyvan.
It looks horrible. It just doesn't look like it should fly, and it's just a box with wings, and yeah, with 8 seats in it. That is literally it.
It's just like a old rickety van on wheels. It doesn't look very promising.
You feel like every single little bit of turbulence as well. Yeah, it wasn't nice to be in. I was actually quite happy to jump out of it.
It's horrible. I felt sick. It was shaking everywhere. The plane was like hitting turbulence constantly. It smelt so bad as well. You could smell. I was close to being sick on that.
For their first attempt, the plane will fly over the drop zone, or DZ, at 1,000 feet. RAF safety officers check for wind speed. If it's over 13 knots, the parachutists could be blown off course and onto a nearby motorway. On board, the platoon is divided into 2 groups of 4, called sticks.
Lads, don't forget your reserves!
When the correct altitude is reached and the plane starts flying over the DZ, timing is everything. As soon as the back door has opened, the first 4 must immediately exit as a single stick. With the first group of 4 gone, the Skyvan completes a brief circuit before approaching the DZ again. Now it's the turn of the second stick.
3 okay, 2 okay, 1 okay, stick okay.
Coast turned around to Cope and me and said, "Fucking hell, that's high." Yeah, when you looked at it, it was high, and you're sort of thinking. I was thinking, I don't want to do this. This is stupid now. What am I doing, throwing myself out of a perfectly good plane?
Turned round, he's opened the door, and then I'm just looking at him thinking, oh my god, oh my god, I daresn't look down. And then he obviously give the green on, and that was me away, like. hit me head the first one I jumped out of. Cracked me out the top of it.
I stepped up, and then when he said, "Red on, go," Coach just jumped, hit his head on the top of the sky van. I stepped forward, 2 seconds later, I've hit a bit of turbulence, I don't know, at the same time. Stepped off, and them doors, the big doors to jump out of, so you wouldn't expect it, but I've managed to go flying left and hit the side of the door. So at that point I was shitting myself. I didn't quite know what to do. I was just hoping my chute was going to open, that's all. It wasn't the nicest experience, I'll give you that.
As soon as they drop from the plane, the canopy starts to open and their drills must kick in.
You're trying to do your 1, 2, 3 check canopy, but really you're just going check canopy.
If you aren't nervous on your first jump, there's something seriously wrong with you.
You sort of counting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I sort of did it / sort of thought, fucking hell, what am I doing? And suddenly felt the jerk of the parachute was open.
It's fast, over in seconds, like from the point of exit to the point where your chute comes out. I knew straight away after hitting that side door I was going to be in loads of twists. I was ready to just kick out. Pretty much all the way down I was trying to kick out. And before I knew it, just after I'd kicked out my twist, I had to prepare for my landing anyway, so it was over before I knew it.
Elbows in, keep those feet together.
Adrenaline was through the roof, as you'd expect. I was thinking, fucking hell, that's quite good actually, I want to do that again.
I felt mega like, not gonna lie, I felt mint. Obviously you're just packing all your kit away, like dying to just pack it away so you can get back to the lads and just start like, tell them how it was and that.
I hit the ground, roll out of it. Wasn't a good roll, to be honest, so kind of more like just landing on my ass, but the idea was there.
From what I can see, drills were really good. Exit was good, no twists or anything.
Each soldier's descent is marked by a PJI on the ground who's looking for correct procedures in exit, steering, release of Bergen and landing.
Quite vertical.
Yeah.
So I think I did all right with the landing there.
No, yeah, it was good. Drills were good all the way through.
And they'll give one of 2 grades, competent or incompetent. Even with a parachute, soldiers can hit the ground hard. Landing knees bent and feet flat with toes up will help absorb the shock of impact. It's been drilled into them from day one and could now save them from injury. One soldier lands awkwardly and badly injures his ankle. The medics on the ground rush to his aid. It's a serious reminder that military parachuting is like no other, and every descent has its dangers. Despite the evident risk of injury and their misgivings about the Skyvan, the men must carry on and complete 3 further jumps from the plane. Up to now, they've only jumped in single sticks. If they hope to join their colleagues in 2-para as part of the Army's Airborne Task Force, they must descend simultaneously from each side of an aircraft to qualify as combat airborne soldiers.
Get well!
And that will mean jumping from the legendary workhorse of the RAF, the C-130 Hercules. At RAF Bryce Norton, the basic parachute course begins its last but most important phase. To earn their combat parachutist wings, the men must now complete 2 further mandatory jumps, one during the day and one at night, from a C-130 Hercules. When the aircraft reaches the drop zone, or DZ, it will fly faster and closer to the ground, to as little as 800 feet. On board, the soldiers are divided into small groups or sticks on each side of the fuselage. The Hercules will circuit the DZ several times with 2 sticks jumping from each side. A soldier could now be carrying over half his body weight in kit, and once out, he'll have just 30 seconds before hitting the ground.
I felt a bit sick though, like on the way up, just thinking like, I better do this if we're getting injured. That's all that was going through my head. And obviously you didn't want to break your legs.
Very crammed on the Herc. There's no room, you can't move whatsoever, like you can't move your legs with your kit being in between your legs. Just no room to manoeuvre, like when you're doing all your checks and fitting equipment.
There's a massive difference between a Skyvan and a Herc. The exits are so much more violent. With a Skyvan, you're not going that fast, and it's like a slide. It feels like a slide, you know, you're going just down like that. But with a Herc, you know, you're jumping out. But of course, you can't feel any wind on your face or anything. And as soon as you step outside, it just takes you straight away. So the first, well, you can't even think about anything. You just go like that, and it just whips you around for a good 5 seconds or so until your chute's open and you're settled. Because even when you do your 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 check canopy, you kind of like, you're still sideways. You're not like straight like that. Your chute's open and you're slowing down, but you're still sideways like that. So you've got to give a little bit more time, I've realised, in a Herc jump.
When the green light comes on, 2 sticks must jump simultaneously from either side of the plane. It's known as sim sticks, and in war it's the quickest way to get more soldiers onto a landing zone, up to 80 paratroopers in 40 seconds. There's only a half-second gap between each exit, and the soldiers will only qualify as combat parachutists if they accomplish this task. Down on the ground, the RAF safety officer must give final approval before every jump.
Ascot 135, Western DZ. Surface winds are 170 degrees at 8 knots. You are clear live, clear live.
The Herc is a bit more serious because obviously you're jumping sim sticks, so there's 2 of you going out, like you're going out each side of the plane, so there's obviously the risk of clashing at the back. And when you jump sim stick, you are a lot closer together, so there's also a chance of like air steals, which is where your canopy is here, and like there's another canopy either above you or below you, and you're coming to each other's airspace. So one canopy will not get the air, like the air going through it, so it'll just drop. And you like feel yourself like an obvious drop.
2 soldiers have collided in the slipstream and their rigging lines have become entangled. There's now a real danger of air steel forcing a canopy to collapse. If that happens, one of the soldiers could plummet dangerously to the ground. The soldiers land safely, if a little hard, and avoid serious injury.
As we were the last sim stick to go out, we were in the air for a long time, so you do start feeling a bit sick because of the low level flying and all that. The nerves start to build up as you watch people jump out of the plane. Then they start telling you to fit equipment and all that stuff. Check it all, and then that's when it starts to feel the real deal. Then you'll hook up and what have you, and then you'll be ready at the door within a matter of like seconds. It's all very quick acting. You've got to be on your toes.
Coming out of the hurt, you're facing the rear, so you can see the people who've jumped out before you, not really ones after you. But I saw Blackledge when I had a bit of a close encounter with him. We come out at the same time, and he's come into my rigging lines. He's bounced off my rigging lines. I don't know how, but he must have come underneath me. I don't know how it's happened, but I remember looking up, I felt myself drop fast. I just looked up and I saw my canopy deflated. And it was because we were in an airsteel, because he was like underneath me. We steered away and all that. And as soon as it got out of the way, we were all alright, thank God.
We're both looking at each other like, stay the fuck away. Managed to get away from him and then just dropped my kit and you just sort of hope for the best. I only flapped about the landings, I'm just scared to break my legs, that's all I bothered about. But nah, we're alright, we're good, I love it. Yeah, me and Colt were a bit too close for comfort.
As they make the long walk back to the hangar, they know they have one final difficult jump ahead. The next sim stick is taking place at night.
I was quite looking forward to it because it's the last one, it's the money jump. So we'll get up there and I'm just quite excited to jump.
It's pitch black, you can't see anything.
As soon as it jumps out of the plane, you couldn't see the deck at all. Like you can see like the street lights and stuff, but you just can't see the ground.
Despite the risks, the men must still carry out the jump competently.
It's hard to like assess drift and stuff like that, and like see what landing you're coming in for. So you've got to react like quickly to, because you're coming down quite quick. You just got to react to whatever and accept what's coming to you really.
I just listened for me kit drop and I was coming in fast. And next thing you know, I hit the deck, the power's out of my head, I'm stuck on the rigging lines and all sorts of thinking, what's going on, yeah? It was a bit of a dodgy one, that, like.
With 6 successful descents, the soldiers have completed the course.
Right! Right! Shut!
And the school's officer commanding presents them with their wings.
Well done, congratulations.
I'm finally a paratrooper. Like I wasn't before, I was just basically another infantryman, because you can't really do your job as a paratrooper if you ain't got your wings.
From now on, when ordered to jump, whether on exercise or in war, they must obey. The paratroopers from Athens Platoon have completed months of intense training and have earned their place in the largest military exercise in Europe, with 13,000 other troops from 14 different countries. The airborne element will play a key role, and 2 para have been tasked with jumping onto a drop zone in Suffolk.
When I was in the air coming down, I was obviously there for ages, so just having a look about now, and I was like, this beats any fucking building site. Sitting in an office, hot office, I'm just chilling out on my parachute.
Once they hit the ground, they must fan out and secure a landing ground for helicopters delivering additional forces and kit. This is the final exercise for 2 para before assuming their role as the spearhead battalion of the Airborne Task Force. And whatever eventuality they could now face, the men from Athens Platoon will be expected to live up to the Parachute Regiment's motto and be ready for anything.
You've got to be careful what you wish for. You can't just be sitting wishing for war to happen.
Yeah, it'd be good to go somewhere, you know, with everyone from Athens Platoon.
You shouldn't really wish it, should you? So I'm just literally sitting and waiting. And then if you send somewhere, I'll go, do my job.
You're always waiting, but it could happen any time, so gotta be ready for the phone call.